In this lesson, we're going to have a look at calculating the mean and variance of a normal distribution. Now, before we go on to that, what we need to introduce really to be able to access this topic is the concept of what's called a Z value in the normal distribution. So that's what we're going to have a look at now, what Z values are. So to illustrate this concept, what I want you to do is pause the video and have a go at working out each of those three probabilities for those three different normal distributions. Pause the video, have a go, but I'll continue. So the first one, the mean is 10, so 10 is in the middle. And the standard deviation we're going to use is the square root of 4, which is 2. So let's calculate the probability using the normal CD mode on the calculator. So normal CD. So in this case, the lower bound, put it there, is going to be 12. And this is the area that we're calculating, 12 and above. So lower bound 12, upper bound infinity. The standard deviation we said was 2. And the mean in this case was 10. And that gives us 0.1587. So P equals 0.1587. Part B, you can see the mean is 25. The standard deviation we're going to use is root of 9, which is 3. And the probability that y is greater than 28, we're going to calculate. So 28 there. So let's put that in the calculator as well. So change the values. So the lower bound this time is 28. Upper bound infinity. Standard deviation is 3. And the mean is 25. And that gives us exactly the same answer, 0.1587. The same as our previous answer. And guess what's coming? So mean 0, standard deviation, the square root of 1, which is 1. And the probability x is bigger than 1 is what we're working out. So lower bound 1, upper bound infinity, standard deviation 1, mean 0, and 0.1587 again. But why has that happened? Why are all three of those answers exactly the same? Well, the answer is hidden in the standard deviation. So these areas, when I designed this question, I knew they were all going to be the same because the boundary is one standard deviation away from the mean. So the standard deviation is 2, and it's 2 away from the mean. Here, the standard deviation was 3, and the boundary is 3 away from the mean. Here, the standard deviation is 1, and it's 1 away from the mean, and I should label that 1 there. And in the normal distribution, everything is measured and revolves around the number of standard deviations of a boundary from the mean. And that quantity, the number of standard deviations from the mean, is called a Z value. And that there is an absolutely key point. The Z value is the number of standard deviations from the mean. So given that it's the number of standard deviations from the mean, we can give a formula for it. So let's do that right now. So the number of standard deviations, which we call Z, is equal to, well, first of all, where x is our boundary, x take the mean, that tells us the distance from the mean. Then if we divide by the standard deviation, that tells us how many standard deviations we are away from the mean. So Z is the number of standard deviations from the mean. So for each of these three examples, now let's calculate the Z value. Just make sure that it is 1. So we're going to ordinary calculation mode. So in this case, our boundary was 12. So 12, take the mean, divided by the standard deviation, which was 2, gives us 1. The Z value here is 1. So the Z value of the boundary 28 in part B, well, we've got the boundary, take the mean, divide by the standard deviation, which is root of 9, which is 3. Again, the Z value for this one is 1. And we can see for this distribution here, denoted by Z, and it's so called because the boundaries here are the Z values. Because the standard deviation is 1 and the mean is 0, basically the boundaries themselves are Z values for this distribution, and that's why this is an often used distribution. So this is called the standard normal distribution, sometimes also called the Z distribution. So in the normal distribution, whenever we use Z, we're referring to this distribution here, whose boundaries are Z values. Right, so let's apply this now to finding the unknown mean and variance of a normal distribution. And there's the question there. A random variable x is normally distributed with mean mu and standard deviation 5. Given that the probability that x is greater than or equal to 12 is 0.34, determine the value of mu. So the way we're going to do this is calculate the z value of the boundary given in two different ways. We're going to calculate the z value in two different ways, one algebraically and one numerically using the calculator, so all will become clear in just a moment. So first of all, let us calculate the z value for this boundary here. Probably helpful to draw a diagram first though. So we know that the mean is mu, which is unknown, and the standard deviation here we're told is 5. And we know the probability that x is greater than or equal to 12 is 0.34. So there's an area of 0.34, and we'll shade that like that. And 12 goes there. So we need to find the z value for that boundary in two different ways. So first of all, we'll do it algebraically. So z equals, using the formula above, the boundary, take away the mean, over the standard deviation. So that's the easy part. And this is the part that can be initially difficult to get your head round. We're also going to calculate the z value using this probability here. And we're going to go into the inverse normal mode on the calculator and actually use the z distribution that we introduced earlier. So we go into inverse normal, and it's already set out for us, the mean being 0 and the standard deviation being 1. And the reason we're using this 0, 1 distribution, as we said earlier, this is the one distribution where the boundaries are z values. That's why we denote it using the letter z. Because the standard deviation is 1 and the mean is 0, then the boundaries are number of standard deviations from the mean. So, putting it in the calculator, we're in inverse normal. Now remember, the calculator takes area to the left. And here we're given the area to the right. So, what we want to do is 1 minus 0.34. Like that. To give us 0.66. Right, now this mode here is going to spit out for us the z value when I press equals. So the z value there is 0.41246. 0.41246. So we also know that the z value is equal to 0.41246. We found the z value two different ways, algebraically and numerically, and now we know that they're both equal. So what we're going to do now is just simply rearrange this to find what mu is. So first of all, times by 5. So that's saved in the answer button. So we'll times that by 5. We get 2.06. So 12 minus mu equals 2.0623. Then if we take 12, we then get negative mu equals that. So mu must be the positive version of that. We've got that mu is 9.938. 9.938 is the unknown mean. So what we did there, just to clarify, we found the z value two different ways. One using this formula here and the boundary, and the other using the z distribution, i.e. the normal distribution with mean 0 and standard deviation 1 in the calculator. Let's try another. So this one says a random variable y is normally distributed with mean 7 and standard deviation sigma. Given that the probability of x is less than 6 is equal to 0.12, determine the value of sigma. So let's get a diagram drawn straight away of this situation here. That'll really help us. And we know in the middle there, the mean, we've got 7 and the standard deviation is unknown. Just a nice rough diagram there. It's also told us that the probability that x is less than 6 is 0.12. So that's that there. And we'll put the 6 boundary there. So like that. So the first thing we're going to do is calculate the associated z value with 6. So z equals 6 minus the mean, which in this case actually is 7. So we'll put that number in there, divided by sigma. So we've got that there. We can also, using the calculator, calculate the z value associated with the 0.12. So let's go into normal distribution mode, inverse normal. And let's calculate, so the area to the left of the boundary is 0.12. And if we put in the standard deviation is 1 and the mean is 0, that will spit out for us, like it did before, that will spit out for us the z value. So equals minus 1.17. Now we know to expect it to be negative because it's to the left of the mean. So equals minus 1.174986982. So let's do it at 4 significant figures just to be safe. Minus 1.175. And now what we've got there is just an equation to rearrange to find what sigma actually is. So, giving ourselves plenty of room there. So sigma, 6 minus 7 is minus 1. Over sigma equals minus 1.175, which therefore means that sigma equals minus 1 over minus 1.175. And if we pop that in the calculator to find out what that's equal to, minus 1 over minus 1.175, which is equal to 40 over 47, or minus 0.8511. So sigma equals 0.8511. And notice I always try and round to 4 significant figures just to be safe. Usually the bare minimum allowed is 3, so if you round everything to 4, you're onto a winner. Let's now do another example that makes this a little bit more difficult. So here it is here. The masses in kilograms of newborn babies are thought to be normally distributed with mean mu and standard deviation sigma. So both the mean and the standard deviation here are unknown. Given that 2.63% of babies have masses of 2.5 kilograms or below, and 22% of newborn babies have mass of above 3.8 kilograms, determine the mean and variance of the masses of newborn babies. So, 2 pieces of information we're given. We're given this piece here, 2.63%, and we're given this one here. So 2 pieces of information and 2 unknowns. So we've got enough information to be able to find it out. So the mean we don't know, nor do we know the standard deviation. However, we know that 2.63% of babies have masses of 2.5 kilograms or below. So let's put our boundary there, 2.5 kilograms. And here, 0.0263 is the area there. 22% of newborn babies have a mass of above 3.8 kilograms. So let's put it roughly there, 3.8 and 22%, 0.22. So we're going to do exactly as we did in the previous examples. We're going to find the z value, but we're going to find it 2 different ways. First of all, algebraically. So we'll start with a 3.8. So z equals 3.8 minus mu over sigma. And let's find the z value on the calculator now. So remember, inverse normal mode, and we need to input the area to the left. If we keep the mean as 0 and the standard deviation is 1, it will spit out a z value for us. So area to the left is 1 minus 0.22, which is 0.77219 equals 0.77219 is the Z value there. So that's one piece of information. Let's do the other one now. So the Z value, 2.5 minus mu over sigma, and we're expecting a negative Z value because it's to the left of the mean, equals, well, let's put it in there again. So 0.0263 minus 1.9382. Like that. So what we've got really now is two simultaneous equations to solve. Now we could solve it longhand if we wanted. However, we can just use the calculator mode for solving simultaneous equations to make it a lot easier. So if I multiply by sigma, each of them, I get 3.8 minus mu equals 0.77219 sigma. I also get 2.5 minus mu equals minus 1.9382 sigma. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put all the variables on the left-hand side and the number on the right-hand side so that it's in a format that the calculator can solve in the simultaneous equation editor. So we've got here minus 0.77219 sigma minus mu equals minus 3.8, and this one will become 1.9382 sigma take mu equals minus 2.5. So I'll put that in the calculator as is. So equation solver, it's a simultaneous equation with two unknowns. So we've got minus 0.77219 and minus 1 mu equals minus 3.8. And then we've got 1.9382 sigma minus 1 mu equals minus 2.5. And that'll give me the value of sigma first and mu second. So sigma here is equal to 0.4796. And mu is equal to 3.4296. Like that. And there we have it, finding the unknown mean and standard deviation of a normal distribution. So have a go at the worksheet, check all the answers as you go.